Hello again. I currently find myself restrained and locked inside a pearly white room, framed for killing innocent bystanders, using illegally attained firearms while simultaneously talking to myself.
You can borrow one from a syntax goo.
This in fact did not look good
Um,
on my resume. I tried to reason with them by telling that all you saw was me simply playing a video game, but after finding some questionable substance in my drawers, I found myself here. All of this was simply me enjoying myself at home. But this isn't the case with the game I'm about to introduce you to. Sin was a game released all the way back in 1998, made by Ritual Entertainment. Seeing that the game was released before I was born, I never really had a chance to play it. Even to this day, I most likely wouldn't have heard of it unless I found this. Sin Reloaded is a modern remaster of the classic game, having changed almost nothing except the graphical improvements, remaining faithful to the original. Even though it looked awesome, I was only able to play the demo since it wasn't out yet, and through that short time, I experienced the true 90s video game shooting experience. Both the original and the remaster are developed under the Quake 2 engine. Of course, a longtime fan probably already knew that. But since the engine is considered kinda old, the new company that acquired the Kex games rights in 2020, Night Dive Studio, optimized it through the Kex engine for it to be able to be played on the modern systems. Personally, I know nothing of such an engine except for the fact that it's used to reincarnate older titles into the modern age, such as Doom and the aforementioned Quake. But hey, it's nice to learn something every day. The game features two missions completely not correlating to one another, even to say jumbled. The mission they picked seemed random, although they were still enough to hook a person on. It took half an hour to finish the whole demo, and to say it fully, it was a great demo. The first mission takes us to a silo, where you, the character who looks like Medusa's cousin, has to retake it from Syntech's hands. Who is Syntech, you might ask? Just some company where their leader couldn't get drugs from the local hobo and decided to become some kind of king of drugs by injecting the streets with gummy bear vitamins you get at the store. As a religious fighting creep, you make your way down into the underground parts of the silo and get introduced to mutated weapon wielding aliens. Even some brutes who, for their size, like to hide in the dark. Inside that dark and deep bunker, you make your way towards the power station. And naturally, you turn it off like any regular person by blowing everything into bits. Completely left in the dark, like a moron, I found my way out of it and start exploring the red lit hallways filled with more enemies. Of course, along the way I find a fallout shelter with survivors inside who look like any generic lieutenant you'd see in a military movie. The game follows a sort of linear style, and everything eventually leads to one place. The hallways lead you to a water area in which you swim in the not radiation filled water, leading you to the main part of this whole mission. The whole place has three silos, and your only task is to close the launch doors and open your way to the other silos. You repeat this again until you're at the last one, in which you have to input a code to stop it from launching. And my dumbass found it hard to simply look at the inventory and died multiple times to gas attack. In the end, after you input the correct code, the mission ends and everything just fades to black. This mission opens up to our boasting about a plasma bow, but all I could think in that moment was visiting the art gallery and experiencing the vivid emotions a broken man could feel by accidentally killing a few fellow soldiers. I go down a quest of killing aliens with a refined taste for art. The doctors explained that my vision was blurry and that those weren't aliens, but I beg to differ. Going around inspecting each piece, I found some rather interesting pieces. After some time, I was able to find stairs, and going up, I found I heard a loud explosion. Some may say that was simply the police trying to barge into my home, but for me, I knew it was the aliens trying to steal something. After the power goes out, I make my way into the office and get further instructions from a night guard. Of course, he also gave me a key for the power shed. After getting outside and being jumped by what seemed like giant frogs with weapons, I went inside the power shed and turned on the backup generator, since the main somehow exploded. After the power came back, I made my way inside up to the previous stairs, getting greeted by more aliens. Immediately, I stumble upon a diamond heist, and as a gentleman of justice, I quickly retrieved it by shooting the thief into smithereens. After some more cleaning, I found a hole and jumped inside, ending the second mission. Both of the missions, in my opinion, were picked randomly. In the original, the very first mission was stopping bank robbers, while in this, you enter into an unrestricted place to stop the launching of nuclear weapons, while the second mission is considered to be a late game mission. These missions probably were picked to introduce you to what kind of game this is, and to say the least, it did a pretty good job for me. Although it may seem like a slight review of the demo, I am by no means an expert on reviewing games and just play for a living. And this was just my playthrough of the game. All I'm doing is appreciating the art style and the retro graphics, since these kind of games are always getting overshadowed by others. Of course, in the end, I'm still stuck getting harassed by the doctors for something I didn't do, and this room might be my home for a short while. So, thanks for joining me on this adventure, and I'll see you next time.